The Hardens say they started asking questions after their nonverbal autistic daughter came home upset with unexplained injuries, only to find out Casey Diskin, who is in charge of the autism programs for their vulnerable daughter, is a fraud. I found out she's been lying to families about her criminal past and medical credentials for years.
Do you want to get on the slide or swing real quick? Not being able to communicate with me, it scared me to send her away somewhere and not know what her day is like, what's going on.
And then your fears became a reality.
And then my fears became a reality.
Kim Harden admits she has always been overprotective of her daughter Kennedy, who was diagnosed with autism around 18 months.
She's pretty severe. She just recently was potty trained, probably within the last year. The communication's not there. She's nonverbal.
Touch red. Early on, in the comfort of her own home, Kennedy started ABA therapy, known as Applied Behavioral Analysis. A board-certified behavioral analyst assesses children with severe autism and uses science in an individualized way to improve behavior, communication, learning, and social skills.
It was going well. She was able to start reciting her name, her address, her age, family members, so we thought, like, this is perfect.
Kennedy was doing so well. In 2019, the Hardens reached out to the Oxford Recovery Center in Brighton, which offered specialized testing and therapy that could further Kennedy's progress, something they now regret.
I get several calls from Casey Diskin, who introduces herself as the director of the arts program, certified as a BCBA, who's studied over in Australia.
Her name, at least they thought, was Casey Diskin. Just look at her business card. The director of ABA, the specialized autism therapy, and a board-certified behavioral analyst. The same is listed on her bio, with countless health facilities where she worked that focus on autism. Casey is even on the Oxford Recovery Center's website describing her unique techniques with the founder and CEO, Tammy Peterson.
Just so you know, I don't like traditional ABA. And you didn't laugh me out of your office, which was great.
But maybe she should have, since Harden discovered that Casey Diskin is not a board-certified behavioral analyst. Harden says she isn't qualified at all. In fact, she found out Diskin was using someone else's credentials, a behavioral analyst named Kimberly Peck.
So this is her third job using my certification number. I've reported it a number of times to multiple bodies, regulatory in the state of Michigan and otherwise, but to the point that, like, my certification board has reassigned me a new number.
Dr. Kimberly Peck, who is a board-certified behavioral analyst at a doctorate level and a licensed behavioral analyst, first learned of the identity theft when a medical facility contacted her years ago, saying Casey Diskin, using the name Kimberly Coden, submitted her certification number to apply for a job.
The story she tells is that Kimberly Peck is her maiden name, and from a messy divorce or something to that effect.
Diskin didn't get that job, but in 2015, using Peck's credentials, including her NPI number or National Provider Identifier that allows her to bill insurance companies, Diskin started her own healthcare organization, Children's Alliance of Metro Detroit.
Casey Diskin's healthcare organization, Children's Alliance of Metro Detroit, is based here, according to records, at the Madison Building in downtown Detroit. We went to go check it out, spoke to the woman. She goes, oh no, she doesn't live here anymore. She was kicked out because she was running this business, charging insurance companies from her home.
Records show she worked at multiple health providers that focus on autism, using Peck's certification number, insurance identifier, and a fake license number, including Centria. Centria tells Fox 2 she only worked there for 90 days, and they were unaware.
If you don't know what you're doing in assessing those things, like even from the jump, it can be so dangerous. I just can't express enough how concerning it is that somebody would feel so empowered to do this.
What's even more disturbing, we've learned Miss Diskin, who has worked with the most vulnerable children, is a convicted felon. Here she is on the Michigan Department of Corrections website as Kimberly Casey Coden Diskin. for 2 cases of identity theft and larceny from a building. Fox 2 obtained West Bloomfield Township Police case reports. In 2014, she stole thousands of dollars and credit cards from her mother's cousin. 1 year later, she did the same to her mother-in-law, stealing jewelry and then her identity to open credit cards and access her bank account. Court records show it got so bad, family members convinced Casey to commit herself to a psychiatric hospital. Diskin pled no contest, spent 1 day locked up and 2 years on probation.
I guess the biggest question that I have is, like, what is it going to take for someone to, like, take this seriously?
Kimberly Pack, who has been dealing with her stolen credentials for years, claims she reported this to the state, Diskin's parole agent, and the BACB, which is the national board that issues certifications. Kimberly Casey quoted Diskin's name is now on the certification board's website, warning others that she falsified her credentials. Yet in 2018, after all of that, Casey Diskin was still able to land a job at the Oxford Recovery Center.
Hi, I'm Taryn Asher from Fox 2 News. I'm looking to speak with Candy Peterson or Casey Diskin, please. One moment. Multiple messages.
More on that in a minute, but first, more allegations. Fox 2 rolling as Diskin starts her day. But it's what she does behind closed doors that we've learned has forced several employees to resign, including the medical director, Dr. Christian Bogner.
You know, the bare bones of it is so important. But
and I've seen that. It's amazing. I love watching you work with the kids in the program you've developed.
And we're told Peterson, who is in the process of building a brand new autism center in Brighton, knew about Casey's criminal past when she hired her. In fact, she admitted it in an email she later sent to me saying, "We are aware of Ms. Diskin's past. As an organization founded by Christians, we believe in forgiveness and redemption." She goes on to say Diskin has been an exemplary employee since she was hired.
Hi, my name is Casey Diskin. I'm the Director of Arts, or Autism Recovery Through Synergy, at Oxford Recovery Center.
Although never certified, Diskin created and directs Oxford's Autism Services Arts Program, an integrative approach the center claims can lead to recovery.
Kennedy, can you play your ball?
Kim Harden says Diskin convinced her it was the best treatment for her nonverbal daughter.
When I sent her there, she was happy. She was smiling all the time. When we left there, she can't even hear their names.
Casey Diskin's criminal past repeating itself, this time with medical credential fraud, is just the beginning. Kennedy started coming home with those marks and bruises, and Kim Harden found out her autistic child wasn't the only one. What happened when several families went to police, and more allegations of fraud, this time with insurance. Part 2 of my investigation when we come back. Kennedy and other autistic children started coming home from the Oxford Recovery Center distraught with unexplained injuries. What happened when worried parents went to police? And the allegations don't end there. See what happened when I went to the Brighton facility looking for answers.
Ms. Harden admits Kennedy did well at first, but in February of 2020, she started to come home with bruises and marks all over her body. These are just some of the injuries Harden documented. Although Oxford continued services during the pandemic, Kennedy began to regress. That's when Harden reached out to her autism support groups and learned Casey Diskin was an imposter who had a criminal past.
So I'm panicking. I'm completely panicking.
Harden wasn't alone. She learned several families had the same concerns after their autistic, nonverbal kids came home with the same marks and bruises. They too feel Diskin, the woman who created the autism programs, expected to help their children improve, was a fraud.
And I trusted these people, and she's not who she claimed to be. And I don't know what type of interventions were taken on my daughter, because I don't know her training now. I mean, I don't know.
In 2020, several concerned parents went to Michigan State Police in Brighton and filed their complaints. We obtained those police reports claiming mistreatment of their children. Investigators interviewed an Oxford employee, a child abuse expert, and the only verbal child who described being locked in the calm down room, put in a 4-point restraint for more than 3 hours. They also interviewed CEO Tammy Peterson, who claimed the allegations were false, especially because it wasn't caught on their surveillance cameras. We asked Michigan State Police investigators what happened. Lieutenant Eric Darling told Fox 2 they could not establish a crime occurred.
Okay, let's just focus on this. Where is Casey Diskin? She's obviously still working. She's ahead of the arts program, putting the program together for all these most vulnerable children, and there's a lot of allegations. I need to be able to speak with the CEO, and I need to speak with Casey Diskin.
Well, where we stand right now, we need to get an appointment.
I tried.
Okay.
Can I make an appointment right now?
You can email them and go through that route.
But there's more alleged behind these doors. Sources who worked in Oxford's billing department tell me Casey Diskin would write assessments for children, which she's not legally qualified to do, and use the names and certification numbers of other behavioral analysts or medical doctors needed to bill insurance companies, even when they billed clients for cash. The problem is the licensed professionals who didn't want to be identified because they already have another job or fear retaliation tell me they were not aware their names were being used to bill insurance companies or clients. After showing the marketing man Ned Cook just some of these documents, he did admit to this.
One of the things that I have seen from what you just showed me is, yes, we were aware in the past that she may have done falsified the license, but since she has been here, she's not done that.
Responding again only by email, CEO Tammy Peterson calls the accusations false, claiming Ms. Diskin has never engaged in improper billing. And although she is on this video talking about creating programs and working directly with children with Peterson, she claims Diskin's position is only managerial and administrative in nature and does not require a license.
I think it is unethical, to say the very least. Terrifying for people like Ms. Harden, like you've seen, because people are going to her in desperate situations. Parents who are seeking out behavioral treatment for their children trust where they're going, and it can lead to really dangerous consequences if people are not properly trained and are not using evidence-based, safe practices.
As for Harden, she fears irreversible damage has already been done, and still no one is being held accountable.
This is why I'm here with you. No one's wanting to help us. We have children that cannot speak. We have someone that misrepresented themselves at this facility, convinced me to bring my happy child there, and now I don't have a happy child anymore.
After we showed up at the center, Oxford CEO Tammy Peterson did send a second response to my questions. It reads, I want to reiterate that these allegations are either wrong, demonstrably false, or taken out of context. For privacy and other legal reasons, I really cannot comment further other than to say that these claims appear to be coming from a former disgruntled employee and perhaps an unhappy parent. She goes on to say Oxford has helped many thousands of children and adults through the years, and I am proud of the work we have done and will continue to do so. And I will tell you, since I tried to get some sort of explanation from Diskin, many of the credentials she fraudulently used to misrepresent herself have now been scrubbed from the internet. Monica?
So, Taryn, what about the state agencies? Are they looking into this now?
Well, I did reach out to them. The Department of Insurance and Financial Services says complaints are confidential until there are criminal charges or enforcement is taken. I'm still waiting for Lara or the Department of Licensing to respond. It's likely any complaints are still under investigation, and that may also determine whether the Attorney General's office will get involved.
But Terry, you have to wonder how a woman like Casey Diskin, who is a convicted felon, who lied about her credentials, still has a job dealing with vulnerable children. How is that possible?
And that is the biggest question, Huel, and not just there at the Oxford Recovery Center, but at several agencies. And when you saw right there, all of that information is available on the internet.
All right, Taryn, thank you for this story. Hopefully, some state agencies will see this and start some action regarding this issue.
The families definitely are counting on that.